In the history of America, thousands of crimes have been committed, and most have been solved. But do you know that a criminal vanished from the sky? Even after 5 decades, people are still talking about him. Who was this guy exactly? What did he do? It was 24th November 1971. Just before the day of Thanksgiving, Portland International Airport was bustling with people. Amidst the hustle, the aroma of coffee, and the sound of luggage wheels stood a mysterious man. Appearing to be in his mid-40s, he purchased a ticket like any other traveler. It was Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 heading for Seattle. The name on the ticket was Dan Cooper. No one knew that within a few hours, this man would enter the most mysterious pages of history. The name would be D.B. Cooper. Shortly after 3 p.m., the Boeing 727 took flight. Cooper sat in the back row. Once the plane reached an altitude of 10,000 feet, he ordered 2 glasses of drink. When the flight attendant Florence Schaffner handed him the drinks, Cooper gave her a folded note. It said, "I have a bomb in my briefcase. I'm hijacking this plane." Cooper slowly opened the briefcase. Inside was a grid of batteries and explosives. In those times, security checks for local flights were rare. Cooper took this to his advantage and managed to carry a bomb inside the plane. His demand was simple. After landing in Seattle, he would have to get $200,000 in cash, 2 front parachutes, 2 back parachutes, a fuel truck at the airport, and some food. In today's value, the money is worth over $1.2 million. The demand reached the cockpit, and from there to the FBI. However, the passengers still knew nothing. The FBI decided not to take any risk. $200,000 were prepared in $20 bills with recorded serial numbers. All the conditions were met. Being satisfied, Cooper released all the passengers one by one. But the mystery was just beginning. Cooper did not let the pilots or the flight attendants leave. With the money and the parachutes in his hand, he ordered to head out to Mexico City. But as the night grew darker, the weather was getting quite bad. The pilot suggested landing in Reno, Nevada. After a few seconds of silence, Cooper agreed. The plane was kept below 10,000 feet. In the distance, 2 FBI aircraft followed like shadows. He had been wearing sunglasses the entire time to keep his identity hidden. Around 8 p.m., Cooper told the flight attendant to go to the cockpit. He was last seen tying the bag of dollars and parachutes to his body. Shortly afterwards, everyone in the cockpit felt the rear door of the plane opening. Suddenly, there was a heavy silence. Everyone wondered, what's next? A bomb explosion? But there was none. Not even a single sound. A man simply vanished into the dark sky. No one could understand where he had gone. The plane later landed in Reno. The police and the FBI searched every corner. The back door was open. Out of the 4 parachutes, 2 were missing. On Cooper's seat, there was only a black clip-on tie. Nothing else was found. They suspected he had jumped over the Lewis River, but neither his body nor his parachute was ever found. Since he used a fake name, finding him became quite hard. Sketches were drawn based on the descriptions of the flight attendants. There were over 800 suspects. The investigation kept on going. Then, in February 1980, something interesting happened nearly 9 years after the incident. On the bank of the Columbia River, there's a place called Tina Bar. There, an 8-year-old boy named Brian Ingram was digging sand to prepare a fire. Suddenly, he found 3 bundles of money tied with rubber bands, a total of $5,800. The notes were torn and water damaged, but the rubber bands were intact. The FBI confirmed by the serial numbers that this was the money given to D.B. Cooper. But what about Cooper himself? Was he still alive? Or was this money his final trace? In this regard, several theories emerged. Investigators first thought the money had somehow washed down from a tributary into the Columbia River. According to this theory, Cooper likely landed near the Washougal River, which joins the Columbia upstream from Tina Bar. However, this theory failed to answer 2 major questions. Firstly, in one of the 3 bundles, 10 notes were missing. Where did they go? Secondly, if they floated there, how did the 3 bundles stay together? FBI investigator Ralph Himmelsbach wrote that if the money had truly floated there, it would have come up within a year or 2 of the hijacking. It wouldn't have been found so many years later. Furthermore, Leonard Palmer, a geologist at Portland State University, found 2 distinct layers of sand on the riverbank. They were separated by a layer of clay. This clay layer was created during a dredging in 1974. The money was found in the sand above the layer in 1980. This meant only one thing: the money had arrived at the spot after 1974, years after the hijacking. Finally, in 2016, with no clue to what happened, the FBI closed the investigation after 45 years. To this day, the money found on the bank of the Columbia River remains the only confirmed evidence of the hijacking that was found outside the plane. But this evidence did not provide any answer. Rather, it only deepened the mystery. For more stories like this, please visit our website, thewisdomia.com.